Salman, it's so good to have you on today, and no shortage of issues to discuss in the Middle East, but I thought we could begin on this Wall Street Journal story that was published this week. Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince reportedly threatened to put the UAE under a blockade after telling local journalists that the UAE had, quote, stabbed us in the back. MBS and MBZ reportedly haven't spoken in 6 months. I want your take on the story, and is there any merit to this reporting?
Yeah, thank you so much, Dan, for having me. It's great to be with you. I've actually read the Wall Street Journal report, and it actually didn't seem to be a mature one, to be honest, since it's full of exaggerations and anonymous sources. So I didn't actually take it very seriously. But if you ask, there are differences between the UAE and Saudi Arabia when it comes to opinions and priorities, I would say absolutely yes. And anyone denying that is not paying attention. But the better question is, name two countries in the whole wide world that do not have differences in opinions and differences in priorities. There's none. And it actually goes even with siblings. So it's very fine and healthy sometimes to have disagreements here and there in some files here and there. So and also the report kept talking about the competition between the two countries. I sincerely see this to be an amusing kind of cliche because they've always been talking about the competition between the UAE and Saudi Arabia. I suppose that the Saudis and Emiratis alike know that it's not fair for both countries, for the UAE and for Saudi Arabia, to be put in one box, and because the two countries are of completely different sizes in terms of geography, population, sphere of influence and resources. So each country is basically competing with its equals. So Saudi Arabia is a G20 nation, and it doesn't have time to entertain the idea of competing with anyone but itself, and also with the other G20 nations. So, and overall, to just respond to your question, I think the UAE is a great partner for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, just like all the other GCC nations, and all the 6 GCC countries want to move forward with their ambitious plans for their people. And that's what we should focus on.
So, Salman, how do you see the relationship between these two powers in the region evolving into the future, particularly as Saudi Arabia hits fast forward and really hits the gas pedal on its economic and societal transformation, and the UAE continues to focus on its own foreign policy goals and its own economic goals as well?
Look, when it comes to the model right now in the Middle East, it's all about business. The Saudis, the Emiratis, and most of the GCC countries are having like a laser focus on business and development. So that in itself is a very good one. We need less ideology. We need more pragmatism. And that's the region. And the region is actually moving forward towards that. And the kingdom, as you have seen, have hosted like the Central Asian countries just yesterday. And they got all the GCC countries together to form some sort of like a new kind of partnership with the Central Asian countries. So the kingdom is actually thinking beyond only thinking of the problems within the region. That we want to actually to empower other nations and to get a win-win kind of agreement with every nation that you can think of.